the Daily Bugle cast. J.jonah Jameson, I know J.K. Simmons did a really good job as Jameson.
Definitely.
Almost iconic. He really made.
That's all I can think about.
Yeah.
And I think J.J.
So here's a weird choice for J.jonah Jameson. He has the same name as you. Sam something, jeez. Oh. He talks like this. Remember him?
Oh,
from the
yeah,
Big
yeah,
Lebowski?
yeah. Oh, yeah. That guy.
That guy. Should have wrote his name down or something.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Cowboy.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah,
He's so cool.
Yeah, I think look. Again, let's get back to Hulk because he was in that movie too. He played General Ross, and he pretty much had the same hairstyle as J. Jonah Jameson, the mustache, the flat top, and he could just essentially play J. Jonah Jameson, just kind of like that, more intimidating, but still have those moments of comedy. I can see it. I can see it. Yeah, I'd like to see that. So I'm calling dibs right now, just in case Sony decides or whoever decides to do that. Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott. That's it. That's his name. Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott.
Yeah. Beer, you better give me these pictures of Spider-Man. All right, boy. Don't you go disappointing me. Spider-Man, you hear, is a menace now. I notice people from the South, they always say now after every other
sentence. And you hear it.
Yeah.
Just to make sure, because a lot of people in the South suddenly lose their hearing. So they have to continually make sure, like, do you still hear me?
Yeah. You hear?
Now? As opposed to then or later.
It's the sand text, actually. Like, British people say, that's great tasting soup, that is. Like, they say that is twice in the beginning. And sometimes they say yeah at the end of their sentence. You fucking with me, yeah? Like,
I guess we say right. You're fucking with me, right?
Yeah.
Right versus yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they say, we say, oh, I broke my leg. I gotta go to the hospital. And they're like, oh, I broke my leg. I got to go to hospital. It's sort of like how we say we gotta go to school. We don't say you gotta go to the school. So I guess
I gotta go to school. I gotta go to hospital.
Yeah.
Whoa. What idiots.
They did it first, right?
What about
I can't think of anyone else. I mean,
what about Betty?
Oh, I meant just alternatives for J. Jonah Jameson. What would also be stunt casting is Ed Asner, who provided the voice for J. Jonah Jameson in the 1990s cartoon show.
That would be interesting.
Just having him, he doesn't look anything like J. Jonah Jameson, but he has the voice, so.
Or, God, I should know this guy's name, but who played Han Solo?
Oh, Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. I can see it.
I don't think he has the face for it.
He's got kind of a soft face, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's not so hard.
Yeah, and defined.
Right.
That's more Jameson. That's more, yeah. Betty Brant. Christina Ricci.
Who's that?
She was in the Addams Family movies in the 90s.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's she look like now?
She looks like Betty Brant.
Like Betty Brant.
Yeah.
There you go.
Christina Ricci.
I love Reese's. The candy.
Hey, our birthdays are really close to each other.
Yeah, there you go. That means it's close to mine.
Yeah, pretty close, relatively speaking.
Cool. Oh, she was in Casper too.
Yeah.
Wow.
She had that look.
In Casper?
Yeah, they just always wanted to hire her for shit. Yeah.
Oh, you mean the spooky stuff?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, she was in Sleepy Hollow.
Was she in Beetlejuice? Or is it someone else?
That's someone else. That's Winona White. Winona White. Ryder.
Winona Ryder.
Yeah. Why is
it
that
feels
so
like it should be the opposite. Winona Whiter.
Yeah. 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 Poor Winona.
I like her.
She has what's that thing where you're addicted to stealing things? I forget.
She's a kleptomaniac?
Something like that. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, she got in trouble for that a couple of years ago. You can kind of tell she has these big, sort of crazy eyes.
Yeah, she looks nuts.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that. You're gonna love me. Yeah,
The Dark Knight though.
Yeah, I can see. I can see Christina Ricci. Oh my goodness, I can see. I'm sorry. Google Images is giving me a lot of images that should not. Oh my.
Now,
God.
correct me if I'm wrong, but Betty Brant's position in the Spider-Man comics, at least for the majority of the time, was just to kind of tease Peter, right?
Oh yeah.
They did date briefly.
Oh yeah.
She was mostly just a tease.
Yeah, the way that she broke off the relationship really pissed me off. I'm like,
What'd she do?
Like you know, they I think that was like his first serious girlfriend, and yeah, I know. And thanks Google Images. And it was sort of semi-iconic for the character, and they go off and on. They go through this breakup, and she ends up, you know, dating someone from the other side of the planet or whatever. And she sends him a present. She sends him a present, like a picture of her or something, and he just like throws it in the fucking dumpster. Yeah. I think I told you about this, right?
No, I
okay.
This before.
Okay, but that kind of pissed me off. Like why would you send that?
Yeah, why send a picture, especially that one?
Yeah, she should send that one. Yeah, okay, I'm not throwing this away.
I'll just keep it. Pisses me off, but you know.
Like I'm
not gonna waste it.
Like yeah, Betty can send me a picture of something, but it's definitely not that. Okay. Jeez.
So yeah, she'd make a good Betty.
Yeah, I can.
Who else?
That's it. You know, there's not many.
What about that one the girl we were looking at earlier, who
Isla Fisher
from Breaking Bad? Yeah, Fisher.
Isla Fisher.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I don't know.
But she's also kind of that. But she's a little thin. Betty Brant, I think of as kind of more.
No, she's pretty much just
curvaceous.
I don't know. She's pretty thin too from the comics. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go on. Sorry, I was just saying.
Eva Evangeline. She played Tamriel terrorist attack. What was her name from The Hobbit? I completely forgot.
Who?
The elf.
In The Hobbit?
Yeah.
I can't remember. She was such a dumb character. Don't get me started on a character.
She can be Betty Brant too.
I could see
just
that.
To downgrade her, like you could be secretary. That's right. God, those cheekbones could cut through concrete. Seriously. She has like they're just like Ting! Like I was surprised those weren't like prosthetics or cosmetics. Cosmetics? Makeup. Elf makeup. I was surprised it wasn't that because her cheekbones.
This isn't any trollish makeup. Nor is it human made. This is elven makeup.
These cheekbones are of elven makeup. Yeah. Let me see. I want to get a good image of her with her cheekbones. Yeah. Let me see.
Annotate like 3D capability. Really...
Yeah, there we go. Cheekbones.
Oh yeah, cheekbones.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, she actually her face shape is also kind of like Mary Jane.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think she may be too old to play Mary Jane. Someone probably should have asked her like 10 years ago.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, because she's kind of aging. Yeah, she looks good.
Betty Brant was, and she was kind of older than Peter, wasn't she?
Yeah, kind. Well, they're just a little bit older, but they were around the same age. Some continuities made her older and sort of played off that. Like Peter had a crush on her, but like, it's not gonna work. You're just too young. Right. Yeah. Hey, there she is. It's your favorite character ever. It's your favorite. It's your favorite character.
That's not my favorite.
Yeah, I was trying to be funny. That's like your least favorite character in all of fiction.
Oh, right. I really hate her.
Yeah.
Well, they just injected her for romance. Like, she was like, let's stick that in there.
Must fight injection joke with all might. Ugh, I couldn't do it.
Alright, that's cool.
I like to shoot my bow. No, I'm not gonna do it.
Alright, who's next?
Who's next? Oh, okay. Jeez, I do not know. Who else? What other villains did I not list off? Mysterio could be played by Quentin Tarantino, so you don't have to change the name of the actual character. So you'd be like, Quentin, yes?
I mean, yes.
Yeah. You know who Quentin Tarantino is?
Yeah.
He's a reverse Urkel. He isn't a wigger. He's a reverse Urkel.
What's that mean?
He's a white nerd who wants to be black, as opposed to a black nerd who's acting white. I'm not even the person who came up with that. I found that observation on, I don't know, some other person's podcast. I'm just like, yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, he is.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm not even joking. I think that'd be interesting to have him as Quentin Beck. Yeah.
What about Flash?
Flash Thompson.
Yeah, Flash is definitely on your show.
Yeah. Let's make Flash a girl.
What?
Yes. Let's get more controversial with this. Jane Lynch.
Who's Jane Lynch?
She's that lesbian actor. She's on Glee as the something coach. I forget.
Oh.
That doesn't make any fucking sense, does it? Yeah, I don't know too many jock douchebag actors. You think that's weird though? I don't know too many of them.
What about Eden personally? Because I don't know any actors, so that's okay.
Yeah.
What about the guy who was in Magic Mike?
I think he already played Flash Thompson.
He did?
I don't know. He looks like him. So.
Oh yeah, he looks like the guy in the Tobey Maguire films.
I mean, in the Amazing Spider-Man, he looks like Flash.
He does?
Kind of. I think. I don't know. I don't think they're the same actor, but they kind of look alike. But so yeah, I guess I can kind of go with that. Who else? I mean, I had a good idea for one of the villains, but I completely forgot.
Electro. What about the Lizard?
Electro, it could be played by Jamie Foxx. That's out of the box. Yeah, his whole dilemma could be that people don't pay attention to him. That's his entire character motivation is no one paying attention to him, especially Spider-Man.
It's so weird.
It was the way he played him was just so off.
It was bad.
It was so
cringe. His fault either. It was the lighting. Because think about his lines. It doesn't really leave much room for anything else.
Don't you remember me, Spider-Man? You saw me on the street, and then you swooped me up. Yeah, sure, Sparkles. Why don't you call me Sparkles? It's so cringeworthy. It's really especially worse when you're sitting there in the theater. Because when you're watching it on the computer or on TV, you can kind of just flip the channel and just look away and do something else, pretend like it's not there. But when you're in the theater,
it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's all around you. It's all up in your face, and you kind of have to just. And you're in the front row of this whole experience because it just came out, and you're experiencing all this stuff for the first time. You're one of the first people to ever experience all this shit, and you get the full blast of it, and it leaves an impression on you.
Yeah.
And then you get to the end credits. Somehow you get to the end of the movie, and you're like, 3 people wrote this crap. What?
3 people. Nobody said anything.
Did they all suck? All of them?
That's bad.
Oh my god. I don't know how Mark Webb is as a writer, but I think he should. If he had the chance, he should have just wrote this movie.
And I don't understand why they're doing two villains per movie either. They tried that, I feel, in the last Spider-Man movie, and it doesn't work. There's not enough time. Why do you do that?
Yeah.
You can't devote the time necessary to make an interesting character, so you just get a couple two-dimensional characters.
Unless you're Christopher Nolan.
Unless you're Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. I think he's the only one who pulled it off so far. With the Avengers, I don't know. Yeah, they only had one villain.
Yeah.
So.
And if they tried to do more than one villain, that'd be crazy, especially with all those heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and Christopher Nolan, yeah, it was kind of unusual. It was sort of because he started a hero, and I don't know. Even still, you did get 2. I don't know. The thing is, the Joker is a 2-dimensional character. It's just we're cool with that. The only explanation you have for the Joker's motivation is some people just want to watch the world burn.
And maybe that's not even his motivation. That's the thing. He's like a force of nature. He just comes out of fucking nowhere.
Right. He's been
like,
who is this guy? Incarnate, basically. Yeah. But we're satisfied with that because he did it well.
Yeah, and the running joke is he's mocking all these tragic backstories that would be for a guy like him.
Right.
They're all just jokes to him.
Exactly.
And people say the Joker's not funny. He's funny in like this morbid way.
Right.
Like all these tragic backstories, they're funny to me. They're jokes, right? And they don't apply to me. Nothing applies to me. There's just nothingness behind me. There's nothing. No past. No future. It's just whatever the fuck. I don't like that.
It's completely bizarre.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to know where to go next with him, so,
Why go anywhere?
Yeah.
Leave the Joker alone. Joker's been done. There are so many other Batman villains.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
The Riddler could be very interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it done well yet.
Played by
Jim Carrey. But I think you could do something kind of interesting with the Riddler if you really wanted to.
The Riddler in Batman Forever was essentially Max Dillon in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Almost.
Well,
He's like, and so was Aldrich Killian in Iron Man 3. He was essentially the same character. It was definitely more parallel to Batman Forever, and I think that was like a joke or something. But with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, it was less of a joke and more of just something tragic.
Right.
Tragically reminiscent of a time long gone, or a time we thought was long gone. That reared its ugly head up at us again. But the part I liked most, I guess, or if I liked anything, was and it wasn't so much about this specific thing, it's just more how they played it. It's when Electro and Harry Osborn team up, and he doesn't have goblin powers. They're just teaming up, and they're just fucking with this guy who's been, messing with both of them. And I love this sort of weird chemistry they have. This is so weird, and it's corny and cringy, but it's also kind of fun because it's just something, I guess. And Electro actually looks kind of cool at that point in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
Just the way he...
The design was interesting.
Yeah, they got away from the, that weird hooded look and that stupid doe-eyed look he had in the beginning of the film when he's looking up at the monitors. Hey, that's me! That's me up there on the screen! That's me! Everyone's looking at me! It's like...
Shut up.
And they fight in Times Square, and they dodge all those advertisements. Yeah, I saw a sign for Blu-ray falling apart. So... I appreciate they filmed on location, but Times Square, come on, that's oh wait, that's what I did too. 4 years ago. So ha. When they first introduced Electro in the movie, he's waking up from the dead practically, and that scene looked kind of creepy to me.
Yeah,
it kind of put me on edge. It was disconcerting watching him, sort of his eyes glowing through his old. Dead, cracked shell that used to be his skin and his flesh, and that was disconcerting to watch him kind of break out of that.
Yeah,
and it was just creepy looking, and then not 2 scenes later, he's a complete joke.
Right.
I thought they were gonna do this thing where he needs to feed off electricity to live, not just for shits and giggles. I got all this power, so I can have power, so no one else can have power. How about he needs power to live?
Right.
And without it, he dies. That's the perfect way to get Spider-Man involved. Spider-Man would stop him from taking power from other people. There's the conflict. And there's this, should I let this guy die just to save everyone from, losing all of their, electricity?
Right. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And a guy can be frustrated about being underappreciated without being a nerdy joke. Everyone wants to be appreciated. He could be kind of quiet and angry. He doesn't need to be like, you noticed me. Oh, Spider-Man's my best friend.
Oh my god. Yeah, we talked about his birthday scene where he's like,
oh my god.
Yes. It's when you see it, it's fantastic. So it's his birthday, right? And everyone of course forgets it's his birthday, and he's at home and he has all these Spider-Man posters. And he's shaving in the mirror. And he's looking at this cutout he has of Spider-Man. It's like, oh, Spider-Man, you came to my birthday party. Hey, a cake? The cake is for me? Oh, thanks, Spider-Man. You're my best buddy. You're my best pal.
It's not like he becomes crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy to begin with.
Yeah.
You can't, it's so bad.
Yeah, and his character is almost, completely different by the end of the movie.
Right.
And he's like, I built this grid. I know how it works. I'm getting so sick and tired of that line in the movie. X-Men First Class did that too. It's you sure that you can fly this thing? Of course. I designed it. Oh, that's convenient. We know. You already established that near the beginning of the movie. You don't need to say it again.
Right.
In case we forgot.
Writers love that. They love that. Of course.
I built it. And then, of course, Gwen knows how all of it works. She works. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
She's a high school student. What is she doing there?
I don't know. Just because you work there doesn't mean you actually know the specs. I can see Max Dillon knowing about it, even though they already established that in the beginning of the movie. But Gwen?
Why?
I don't know. What did she do?
She works in a biology lab. Doing what? Giving tours?
Yeah, it's a completely different field of science. How does she know anything about that? That's engineering. She works with biology, right?
Right.
It's a completely different
So
field.
dumb. Plus, it's their power. It's well, I work here in this biology lab. I'm doing pipetting. I'm giving tours. I better learn about the power grid.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. I've seen the schematics. Oh, okay. Yeah, sure you have, Gwen.
God, man.
Yeah.
I think writers like that, they're like, they get to this point in the script, they're like, oh crap, we've wrote ourselves into a corner.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Should we go back and rework the story a little bit? No,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm tired. Let's just make some bullshit.
I still kind of tell they do that because they'll insert a little thing at the beginning and they'll go, "What the heck was that about?" Because I noticed Star Trek Into Darkness did the same thing. They have like this little segment after the exciting opening adventure with the dying daughter, and I can cure her. Who are you? And it's, of course, the bad guy of the movie.
Right.
And to save his daughter, he sacrifices. He commits this act of terror for this guy, so he can give his blood to his to save his daughter. His blood can cure her whatever her illness is. And you kind of go, well, what? I guess the point of that was to set up the villain and to set up at least the terrorist act. But what was the whole thing with the transfusion? I don't get that.
Right. And
of course, that type of transfusion saves one of the characters at the end. Like, oh, okay.
Right.
And you know how they figured this out? They have this scene right in the middle of Kirk interrogating the Benedict Arnold when they're in the med bay. He's like, and you know, out of nowhere, you know, he's talking to him. He's just like, Bones, what are you doing with that God, what are those things called? Tribbies? Those furry little balls, those furry little aliens in Star Trek. Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Tribbies.
Yeah, I'm injecting Khan's blood into the thing to see what it does. I'm like, oh.
You know, they just backspaced up there. Like,
yeah.
At this in real quick.
Yeah. It was just that wouldn't even work because how would the blood be compatible with a completely different species?
Right?
Yeah.
They even have
blood. Yeah, and even in the beginning of the movie, it instantly takes the audience's intelligence for granted, because there's this primitive civilization, right?
Yeah.
And there's this volcano that's about to erupt, so they're like, okay, we gotta break the prime directive, right, to save this primitive civilization and possibly expose ourselves to them and throw off their whole development.
Right.
So they lure Spock into the volcano to disvolcano it, and the device he calls it a cold fusion bomb. A cold fusion bomb.
Cold fusion bomb.
That explodes and it freezes all of the lava in the volcano as it's just about to explode.
All right.
Like oh, cold. That means that the volcano will freeze. Cold fusion is pretty much hotter than lava, right?
Right.
And that's not even possible in the real world, let alone in science fiction, so far as we know. You never know. I don't want to be that guy.
Okay, no,
I know completely disregarding.
It's got the word cold.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's... And guess what? Written by the same guys.
Really?
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2 and Star Trek Into Darkness.
Same three guys?
Same two guys. Roberto Orci and Alex Kurtzman. And you're going to love this. For Star Trek 2, David Lindelof, the guy who wrote for Lost. So he's the kind of mystery box guy. I'm like, I completely forgot his name was the very last, because I talked over and over and over about Star Trek, and there's still some things I left out. But I left out David Lindelof, and he's really irritating me right now.
Why?
Because he's the mystery box guy. He's like, they all are just feeding off of each other's...
It's basically one big circle jerk.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a giant circle jerk. He did the same thing with Prometheus. He wrote Prometheus.
Right.
You know, it's... They're ruining everything. Like these directors are competent, right? Ridley Scott, J.J. Abrams, Mark. You know what? Mark Webb is not a good director. Fuck it. I'm done. I'm done defending this guy. You know, the script, okay, maybe whatever. But you have all these elements, right? And a good director knows how to make things work. Knows how to say no to certain things and say yes to certain things. Because I noticed some of the behind the scenes stuff, like, oh, we decided to do this because this one actor thought this was a good idea, and it turned out to be a horrible idea, and it looks awkward, and it's cringeworthy. A good director should know when to say no to something really stupid, and it's not. He has the kind of directorial voice that's not distinctive. It's more just in general as a director, he does not have it. He doesn't have anything. So he's failed. Sorry, Mark. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Mark. There's always...
Television? Maybe.
Made for TV movies.
500 Days of Summer, the TV show. Oh, God.
Hey, that's where things are going now, so...
Yeah. Yeah, even Steven Soderbergh has his own television show. His last couple of movies, I think, were made for television, or at least his last one. What was it called? The Liberace movie I told you about.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, starring Matt Damon and Michael Douglas, I think.
Is he? He is.
He's what?
He's gay?
No, but he. Fuck. You wouldn't know it by watching this movie. It's pretty convincing, and he does a really great Liberace. It's really good.
Huh.
Like it's really convincing.
But he's in it? No, the actor who plays Liberace. Who plays Liberace?
Michael Douglas.
Oh, Michael Douglas.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah,
mention that earlier?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
did. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. No, and the movie is really beautifully filmed and shots it up, and the way he directs his actors, the conversations seem a lot more natural the way it flows. But with something like his current TV show he has on Cinemax, which is also owned by HBO, the Nick, which takes place during the early 1900s, takes place in a hospital, starring Clive Owen, who is a really famous physician in New York. I think it's a really great show.
It's a television show?
Yeah, I discovered it myself when it first was on TV. I didn't hear anything about it before or after it came out, like the reviews or anything, but it got some Golden Globe nominations, I think, for Clive Owen specifically. And Clive Owen, this character is of course, eccentric, but he's also really stern and kind of intimidating, but also brilliant. And he has
sort of a Sherlock Holmes character.
Kind of. He's also he's addicted to cocaine, so that was and of course, it has racial tensions, and it even has like a race riot in there in one of the episodes.
Right.
Yeah, before all this shit.
Race war.
Yeah. Because I don't know, this black guy got into a fight with this white guy because this white guy was trying to lure in the black guy's wife to be a prostitute or something. And they got into a fight, and the black guy stabbed the white guy, and some of the white guys rioted, and the episode is pretty tense, because they break into the hospital and they trash the place. I think it's all very interesting, all the characters and all the new things that are happening around the early 1900s. That's always interesting to do, to introduce new technology and how they change its dynamics. Another thing that kind of floored me when I first watched it was the music. It's actually like a techno synth kind of soundtrack. And that's really weird for a period piece.
Yeah.
When it first came out, I'm just like, this is not what I was expecting at all. But then you kind of get used to it. It's the way it's filmed. The way he directs the episode, that kind of makes this sort of unconventional score work. And if you placed it in anything else that was a period piece, wouldn't work. So it works for this one.
The Nick.
Yeah, the Nick. Yeah.
Cool.
And I can definitely see other people trying to replicate that, because that seems like one of those things that no one has ever thought of to do before.
Right.
Or at least pull off well enough to be well known.
Yeah.
And I think they did it. It's a really smart choice, and I really like the score for the show.
Very cool.
Yeah. Let me see. It's one of those shows. Be warned, it's one of those shows where the main character is in fact a racist, but that's okay, because most people back then were racist openly.
True.
Openly, yeah.
Racist,
But he's one of those people.
anti-Semitic.
I think the races should be kept separate. Now, excuse me while I go down to the Asian whorehouse down the street and smoke some opium. So he's one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the audience doesn't take him seriously.
Well, it's one of those. It's like I said before. You can be racist all you want, but I don't know about the little guy downstairs.
Right.
Because,
Sure.
Yeah. Races should be kept separate, except for this one particular instance.
Asian woman.
Yeah. And Clive Owen is actually British. I never knew he was British. Yeah, until I saw Children of Men, I didn't know he was British. Yeah, he pulls off a great American accent. Yeah.
Me too.
Me too. Yeah.
We're British.
Yeah, we're actually British. Couldn't you tell by my name?
Try
Try it again. Go on. Do it again.
Reginald.
I remember back in school when you were doing the daily announcements. I think, what was it, sophomore year of high school? You and a friend of ours, Nick, you switched your accents while you were doing the morning announcements. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. We did. We did do that, and He's right. Everyone got a big kick at it, and
it pissed off everyone in my class.
no, they loved it.
They were all looking at each other weird, like, "Oh my god, what's wrong with this paper?"
They really hated us. I'm pretty sure they actually cancelled the announcement because of us.
Like
we were universally despised.
Like the whole school heard you guys just doing the different accent thing. I thought that was the coolest thing ever.
I hated that.
The whole fucking school knew.
I remember my worst decision on the announcements was I was announcing that our school's baseball team had lost a game, and I thought it was really funny that they would like send that into the announcements. Like, why am I announcing this? So I went like, wah, wah, wah.
That sounds familiar. I don't know if I remember that.
And then I got a bunch of dirty looks.
Oh man!
One of the baseball players was like, "Hey, fuck you."
You take a bat or something. You just stick him a bat. It's like
It's like you couldn't hit me anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're bad at what they do.
See this bat? It's going somewhere.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I know where it's not gonna hit some balls.
Because
Because you lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the day I was murdered.
Yeah. Dude, that was 4 years ago. Stop bringing it up. Well, 5 years ago. Was it 5? Shit, time's moving by so fast. 5 years.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. 1985 is officially 30 years ago.
1985 was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
2000, 15 years ago.
Doc, we gotta go back to the future. This is heavy, Doc. Party! What did I tell you about? I don't know.
That'd make another good Uncle Ben.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh. Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah.
Peter, with great power comes great responsibility.
Or Vulture.
Definitely a vulture.
Yeah,
Like Peter gets in the time machine and he goes back and fixes his uncle's death, which is essentially what Marty McFly tries to do in Back to the Future 1. Part 1, yeah, he tries to prevent his... and Uncle Ben just pulls open his shirt and he has a bulletproof vest. We just fucked with the time machine majorly, Peter. I wasn't supposed to live. With great power comes great responsibility.
A whole new spin on the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Time-traveling Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing.
That's badass.
Peter, you're not thinking fourth dimensionally.
Alright. Your cast.
Oh, yeah,
Anyone
my
else?
Black Cat. And as Black Cat, who's probably in the show or not, I'm not going to say.
Do you mean she might be coming into
Scarlett
the show?
Johansson.
Yes.
I'm not even joking. I'm sorry, we were talking.
Seriously?
Yeah, we were talking about Scarlett Johansson earlier, and that's all I have in my mind.
Doesn't she have to have white? Doesn't Black Cat have white hair?
Yeah, it's a wig.
Oh, it's a white wig.
Yeah. To be serious, maybe Charlize Theron as Black Cat. Yeah, Charlize Theron.
Who's that again?
She's shit. What popular movie was she in?
I know the name.
She was in Prometheus. She was
No,
she played the kind of bitch. Well, they're all bitches on that movie. In that movie.
I know who it is. Like I can almost picture her face.
Yeah, she's
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway. I think you're having a pretty limited scope here. Like again? No.
Yes.
No, let's not do that. Hey, Spider. I can't do Anne Hathaway impersonation.
Oh.
Those big bug eyes. You okay?
Oh.
Yeah, that's
doing Anne Hathaway
oh.
impersonation.
What is she giving birth? She's like an elephant giving birth.
All right, we better wrap this up. We're pushing.
Yeah.
It gets unedited. 4 hours and 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot. I know I'm gonna forget something. I'm gonna kick myself in the butt later for this.
We'll have time.
Yeah.
We can try doing one of these while in Colombia over the
Skype.
internet. Is that possible? Do you think?
Yeah,
you
you
good
just-
quality doing that.
Yeah, can you do Skype?
I
see
can definitely do Skype.
I see other people do podcasts on Skype, and they did a pretty good job with it.
All right, we could do that.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right. Well, signing off.
Signing off. All right. I hope you enjoyed this.
I love you guys.
Love you guys too. Not really.
I kind of like you.
Oh, episode 31 is gonna be great. It's gonna be great.